we got 5. I think, yeah, Michael's here. We can wait on him to jump back in, and then we can get started, and then I'm sure Shay will be here soon. You guys got time to get coffee if you need it.
We'll take it. That's very nice.
Saw Buddy out walking yesterday morning.
Oh, yeah.
Do your business.
He's
card.
out there, I don't know if he goes every morning, I only go 3 times a week, so.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah, did you
religious.
get some
He's
rest?
with his dog.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I prefer handwritten. I'll
About 2
remember
o'clock?
that. Oh my gosh.
So that means that Tyler got home even later. Would that be
Oh,
true?
yeah, no, yeah.
You're with
I was
me,
right
sister.
there, so another 30 minutes after.
Mhm.
Good
morning.
Yeah.
Well, how are you, Shay?
Yeah. That's all right. He probably had an easy Wednesday. Yeah.
We ended up
You'll send me a
a
text
deal
every
with
time we're going to the
Rick Nagel and Kevin Hearn. They just, we could never get out of it.
Yes.
That night, so-
Matt, we'll start here pretty soon.
We did, we helped my daughter.
Oh, that's awesome.
Fall kind of H-bomb, we're not even getting.
Mike, I'm so wrong. I have the greatest, is that the mayor gave me
Well,
your
and I
exact same.
suspected-
All right, guys, it's 9:02 if we're ready to get started. You good, Matt?
And I was just gonna not say it.
Okay, we'll go ahead and start with a roll call, if you will.
Okay. Michael Brown,
Here.
Peter Dillingham,
Here.
Randy Gilbert,
Here.
Shaylin Hanning,
Here.
Edward Hillary,
Here,
Suzanne Reynolds,
Here.
Kendra Wesson.
Here.
All right. So we have a quorum?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and start with Pledge of Allegiance and then the Oklahoma flag salute. Oh, behind me. There we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in the Oklahoma flag salute. I salute the flag of the state of Oklahoma. Its symbols of peace unite all peoples. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. All right, well, we're pretty fortunate to be in this place, and Julie's done a great job. Julie, would you stand up? We'll kind of introduce you. This is Julie McCormick, superintendent here at Gordon Cooper, and we are thankful that she allowed us and accommodated us with her team to be here. We're going to hear from their students here in just a minute. What else would you like to tell us, Julie, before we kind of get into it?
Well, just welcome, and we're just honored for you to be here and for you to spend some time with our students. And I don't want to take any of the time that they have today because they're just amazing people who manage our programs, the instructors in the classrooms, and the students that leave our programs ready for the world of work. And so we're so proud of them today, and so happy that they can be on the agenda so you can hear from them.
Awesome. And Julie has set up kind of 2 different options, so if anybody's able to stay afterwards, we can have a short tour, or we can have a long tour, and we can kind of look at that as we finish and see how much time we have and how much time you have available, and where you could jump out if you needed to, but get a tour as well. Right, Julie?
Yes.
I don't want to speak for you too much, but yeah.
Perfect.
Good. So there's a few things on item 1.03 here that I would talk about, director's comments, kind of going on in what's happening right now. So just for your information, what we're working on right now as a system is what are our policy needs moving forward? What are the things that the field is seeing that will help us if we need to shape that? So our membership organization hosted a forum yesterday afternoon and evening where our agency staff facilitated as well, and then the membership within the field could jump on a Zoom call collectively and break up into teams and talk about the issues that they're facing and how do we make that better. So those results will be compiled over the next day or two, and then first of next week, we'll have kind of an idea of what little cleanups can we do to make our system better and stronger. So one of the things that we know we will work on from that is high school graduation requirements and how do we make that better. We've been in collaboration with SDE and higher ed. SDE has kind of asked if we would lead that or what would make it better for CareerTech and how do we get students into the system. How do we free that up? So that's been pretty encouraging. Also have worked with State Chamber on that and meeting with leadership. We'll be speaking with Rhonda Baker as soon as we're done with this meeting about her interim study about graduation requirements, and I'll be presenting at that forum as well. I think that's October 9th or something like that. So along those lines, also speaking at a workforce interim study for Senator Hicks, I think on October the 2nd. So several things going on right now around policy, and that's taking up quite a bit of time. Along those lines as well, we just got back from a DC trip the State Chamber hosted, and then we got to meet with some congressional members about what do we do from the federal level and how do we make a difference for what CTE education is. We know that that's an emphasis of the whole country. Workforce is huge. That's the main topic of every state that is going on right now. So talking about short-term Pell and how do we make an opportunity available for a student to get to work faster, and short-term Pell is of most interest in our system and then many systems so that we can shorten the hours needed to qualify for Pell so they can get to work. So most of the programs on the WED side or Workforce and Economic Development side of our system don't require the same amount of hours as a full-time program would, but they're not Pell eligible. So if you could help those students get that Pell money, then they could get back to work and more of them would qualify. So we spent quite a bit of time talking about that. Of other noteworthy conversations right now, and we've mentioned before the WIOA reorganization. So what that is, it takes into consideration our 4 core partners, which was Oklahoma Works Group, as most people would know it. We've also us as Title II, and then so that's Title I with Oklahoma Works, and then we have DRS as a partner in Oklahoma Employment Security Commission as our other partner. So now that's a partnership of 3, really, with Title I going underneath during the executive order for Oklahoma Employment Security. And so we're working together on how do we shape that, what do we build out for our workforce needs. That's a small part of what we do. It's one of our delivery arms with adult education, but it's a big need when you consider that there's 279,000 students without a high school diploma, or adults, I should say, not students, adults without a high school diploma. So that's nearly 10% of the adult population. Also, we're adding to that number 10,500 students every year that drop out. So it's a huge need because that's about all we can get caught up at the current time. So we say that we're paying our minimum credit card payment, but we're really doing less than that. We're paying our minimum credit card payment and we're still using our credit card, so it's a problem. We need to figure out how to fix in this state when we have a labor participation rate of 61%. That's a huge change that needs to happen. So how do we get people eligible to work? Well, we've got to get them educated first, and we've got to check off that first step. So those are the things that we're kind of currently working on, overarching. And of course, all of our team, that many of whom are behind you, are working in specific areas to capture all those initiatives. One of the big initiatives that will align with that is special populations that you will probably hear me talk about more and more as we move forward, but providing access for people in the special populations group, whether it's prisoners or those with disabilities, to get training. So it's a huge need so that everyone has an opportunity to work. So that's kind of the opening comments, and I'll kind of shorten those there so that we can hear from students. And then as we move forward into more meetings, I plan to get a little more of a comment section out to you, kind of show you what we're working on in the agency and hear presentations from our group. So it should be a great meeting today. Any questions before I jump into business? All right, thank you. So item 1.04 is discussion and vote on the minutes from the August 17th, 2023 regular board meeting. And I would entertain a motion from the group.
So moved.
Second.
Move and second to approve. Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, we'll go ahead and vote. Ashley?
Okay, Ms. Wesson,
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds. I'm sorry, Miss Reynolds. I apologize. I'm so sorry.
That was my English teacher in high school.
Thank you. Mr. Hillary,
Yes.
Miss Handing,
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert,
Yes.
Mr. Dillingham,
Abstain.
okay, and Mr. Brown.
Yes.
All right, motion approves. We'll move into item number 2, recognitions and presentations, and that's turning it over to Gordon Cooper's group. Go ahead, Julie. Travis, thanks for joining us. If you guys don't know, Travis Graham is superintendent at Pontotoc, pretty nearby, so he was able to jump up and see us. Hey, guys, if you will, just introduce yourself, and then the floor is yours.
All right. Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
Hi, I'm Shyla Arnold.
All right. I am a third year in the pre-engineering program. I am a senior in high school, and I am a member of the First Robotics Team 2341, the Sprockets. So we compete in First Robotics, and we have competed in Shawnee, Tulsa, and Denver last season, as well as Houston for the international competition. Another thing that we like to do is we like to spread STEM throughout our community. And we have all different kinds of programs that we do, spanning from elementary to elderly. And we go and visit schools and nursing homes to teach them about STEM in easy and fun ways. And we also do a Lego drive where we collect Lego sets and we donate them to children's hospitals.
I am a junior here at the Pre-Engineering Academy, and I am a part of the VEX robotics team. The main difference between VEX and FIRST is VEX builds smaller robots that are about 18 inches big, and FIRST builds like 4 to 6 feet tall robots. And so I enjoy VEX because it's very hands-on. We do all the building, programming, and competing all around the state ourselves with very minimal help from our instructors. I have learned through VEX how to work as part of a team and have fun while doing it. And I would like to say thank you to Gordon Cooper for funding and supporting us, and thank you to the board for supporting all our activities.
Awesome. You guys have any questions for them? Yeah.
What was your favorite project so far?
My favorite project? I really like doing the Lego drives for donating to children's hospitals. We have a lot of teams who have heard about our Lego drives, and they'll sometimes bring us Lego sets at the competitions. And I really like to go to the hospitals and donate the Lego sets because it's really fun to do.
Awesome.
What are your plans for the future? Or do you know where you're going to college, or are you going to college?
I am still considering multiple colleges. I'm currently thinking about going to OSU or the University of Chicago or MIT.
Excellent.
Awesome.
I have no idea where I'm going to college.
Oh, you got time to figure it out.
Yeah, about a couple of years, so.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, welcome. You guys, if you don't mind, introduce yourself, and then we'll let you have the floor.
My name is Jacqueline Clifton,
And I'm Jasmine Fox.
and we are both seniors enrolled in the FACS Early Childhood Education Program at Gordon Cooper. We are also part of the CTSO FCCLA, which stands for Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America.
We got the opportunity to compete in FCCLA's competitive star events, where we won first at districts, regionals, state, and got the opportunity to compete at nationals in Denver, Colorado, where we scored bronze.
We competed in the Repurpose and Redesign event. We made a children's play kitchen out of an old TV stand. This idea came to us because we work in the Early Childhood Center.
Making the play kitchenette was a long process, but we had a lot of help from the graphic design program and the carpentry program, which really helped us come together and really complete this wonderful project.
Not only do we compete in these events, but we also have the opportunity to go to fun events like going to the State Day at the Oklahoma State Capitol, where they spoke to us about the importance of facts and education. And we got to sit in the Senate chambers and watch them pass laws, which really opened our eyes to what goes on inside of our government. We also get to go to trainings to help us better our classrooms and community.
And next Wednesday, FCCLA is hosting Future Teacher Day at OSU, which we are so fortunate to be able to attend. We are so excited for what this year holds for not only us, but our chapter and our class. We did a lot of community service outreach last year, and we're so excited to do even more this year.
FCCLA gives opportunities to get scholarships in areas that people are passionate about. We get to go to a lot of leadership meetings and connect with other people in FCCLA.
At Nationals, we got to meet a lot of people from all over the United States and look at their project and all the wonderful things that you can create.
We are so thankful for Miss Carey and all the other staff and board members at Gordon Cooper Technology Center have helped us do all of these wonderful things.
It really means a lot to us to have teachers, staff, and board member who truly support us, not only through our CareerTech, but also through FCCLA.
Awesome. Great job. What questions do you guys have for them?
This is the kitchenette.
That's pretty cool. You're both seniors. What are your plans going forward?
We're both planning on going to college.
Yeah, and I'm really hoping with this Future Teacher Day at OSU that I can look at some really amazing programs and potentially pursue a degree there.
Are you both from the same high school?
No, I go to North Oak Creek.
And I go to Dale.
Okay.
So how much, as a senior, how much of your day do you get to spend here versus there? How exactly does it work for you?
We go to our home school in the morning, and we have spend 5 hours there.
Yeah, I spend 4 hours and she spends about 5 hours.
Yeah, and then we come here and we spend 3 hours here.
So you get to do that every day?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. How
a really
long
good
have you been doing, you're seniors now, how long have you been in the program to this point?
So our program is a 2-year program.
Yeah.
So we got to come last year, and now we're finishing this year to get all of our certifications, and because we're early childhood education, that's the class we're in, and we get great certifications like assistant teacher, master teacher, our CNA, wonderful things that really help us, succeed further in childhood education.
So did you apply? Are there enough, I don't know who to direct my question to. Are there enough spots for everyone, or do you have to apply for a select amount of spots?
You apply for these spots, and luckily Gordon Cooper they are able to host a lot of kids. So they have a morning and an afternoon where a lot of people get this opportunity. It is a little limited sometimes with who wants to do the program, but we're very fortunate to get it.
Tell them where you're working.
We're working at a new school that's just starting up. It's called Prosper.
It's a Christian private school.
And it's more based on Montessori, so it has some of those really key independence for children in it. It's a really great program, and we're really excited to start it.
They'll start doing that every afternoon except Friday next week. And they already go there on their own
To
time.
help out and
But
stuff.
that's part of their work-based learning.
And is that
We
like
also
a
have a
preschool?
daycare center
Oh.
that they work in.
Yeah.
The first year especially, so they can be trained, and then they go out to, I think I have about 15 getting ready to go to different daycare centers, and there's such a need.
Yeah.
I could send probably 30, but we don't feel like 30 are ready, our first years don't go.
Sure. Yeah, how big is the program?
There's about 43 in there. She takes more than's required usually, mainly because our second years go out, and so the ratio.
But we always have more applicants than we have spots. That was your question.
Yes, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. Sorry to monopolize.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. It's a
Thank
great
you.
opportunity. We're very, very fortunate.
So do you have a waiting list?
Mhm.
You do?
Yes. This year, we actually had 7 adults, 5 going full-time and 2 going part-time, and that hasn't happened in a while. We usually have a couple of adults, or if they come as a senior, they can come back as an adult to finish, and that's covered by Gordon Cooper by scholarship. So they still don't have to pay, and high school students don't have to pay. But they also have the opportunity to take the CDA test that costs $450. And that is also, we have a program that's based on attendance and grades, that can be paid by Gordon Cooper or the foundation. They can apply to the foundation. So we haven't ever had anyone that hasn't been able to get assistance with that testing, and that is huge. All the Head Start, the tribal daycares, there's about 4 or 5 that's a requirement to even work there. So our kids are coming out 18 years old with that certification.
How many are on the waiting list?
I'm gonna say probably 40.
Wow.
And that's just for one person.
That's one program.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Girls.
Thank you,
Wish I would've had a CNA when I came out. That would've helped when I went to the elementary.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, I am Ashley Fickner, and I'm Director of Partner School Outreach here at Gordon Cooper. Part of my responsibilities is health and nursing, because I'm a nurse. I started working here 16 years ago and taught nursing. And so I wanted to give you a few statistics before we got started from the year. This year, we took a large group to HOSA, and we had 31 students place first at state. And then we took 31 to nationals, and half of those placed first at International Leadership Conference. So we're pretty proud of our students. In the last 2 years, I've been able to hire 7 of my previous students. So that makes me old, for one, but it's been very, very exciting. We were going to have 3 students speak to you this morning. However, one was sick, and so we improvised, and I asked Ms. Pritchett to speak with you.
Good morning, I'm Rachel Pritchett. I am the Advanced Health Careers Instructor here at Gordon Cooper. And my journey started here when I was a junior in high school. I was in Mrs. Fichtner's class. And I vividly remember her asking us, what is your healthcare goal? And I said, I want to be you. And so she made that possible. She made a huge impact on my life. And now I have the opportunity to do the same thing, I hope. And in that class, I got to explore healthcare, but I also fell in love with CareerTech education as well. As soon as I finished that class, I went on to the child care class here at Gordon Cooper and graduated high school and went straight into the LPN program here at Gordon Cooper and graduated and was a nurse by the time I was 18. Shortly after that, I got married to my husband, Tyler, who is also a Gordon Cooper alumni. He got his certification in CNC machining, and we started our careers. And I was able to get my RN degree with my LPN, and while he was working as a machinist. I mean, we made a living off of what CareerTech did for us. I came back a couple of years after that to teach adjunct in the adult health program until I got the opportunity to come on full time here. And I'm hoping that with my skills and knowledge, I can instill into my students what Gordon Cooper has done for me. So, thank you.
And I will say, Rachel's like true product of CareerTech. She has been here, she's done that, she's worked here, she's worked her way to the top. And most recently, she completed her bachelor's degree with the help of the lottery funds through CareerTech. So we appreciate her support.
Very thankful for that, yes. And this is Brady.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Brady Lauer. I am the current president of my hosted chapter, and I'm here to talk about my experience at Gordon Cooper with you guys today. So, my junior year was my first year at Gordon Cooper Tech, and I really enjoyed my time here. I came back for another year to join their Advanced Health Careers program, and I am currently learning how to become a licensed phlebotomist, emergency medical responder, and a certified medical assistant by May of 2024. And I'm currently working as a CNA right now. Through my certification I received back in January, it is safe to say that Gordon Cooper has helped lead myself into a legitimate career I can help build off of. I'm currently taking the Advanced Health Careers class. I'm sorry, I'm repeating that. I'm sorry, guys. These are all jobs I can build off of through experience to help prepare myself for my future in the healthcare field. Advanced health certainly isn't easy, although it will help prepare myself for the college, as I will learn how to balance a heavy school workload along with my personal life. That is a skill built with a strong work ethic and discipline, both of which are required in the healthcare field. I plan to enter OU next fall, majoring in health, medicine, and society with the end goal of becoming an anesthesiologist. I can confidently say that Gordon Cooper Tech has helped prepare myself for what lies ahead, as I have built my knowledge over the human body and skills I have learned. I feel I will be steps ahead of my peers at the next level. I am being confident in myself through the work I put out while attending Gordon Cooper. I'll be able to say it was all worth it. Thank you. And this is Madison Gonzalez, our reporter.
My name is Madison Gonzalez, and I attend North Rock Creek and Gordon Cooper. I attended as a second-year student, and I plan to utilize my certifications as an EKG technician and phlebotomist, and I plan to utilize that in college, and I will become a cardiovascular nurse practitioner. That is my goal, and I will reach it. They have introduced me to HOSA, which is like a big part of our thing. It has taught me a lot, and it helped me grow as a leader. And last year, we competed in the biomedical debate, and we had never done it before, totally brand new. We ended up placing state in the whole entirety of Oklahoma. We ended up passing and going to internationals, where I met a lot of fun people who share the same passions as me. And I made a bunch of new friends, and we took a lot, 31 first place winners, and our team was one of them. We sadly didn't pass to the next round, but we plan to do the same thing this year, and we just hope to go on ahead and go to nationals again. And thank you. Yes.
Awesome, great. What questions do you guys have for them?
I have a quick question. Congratulations, all of you. Being in the health science field myself, what was your debate topic?
So it was about if health professionals should be punished for malpractice. So we had to do a positive and a negative, and it was like really hard to argue for like, the positive, since we are in the health field and, we don't want to get punished for like small mistakes. Like that was basically what it was about. So yeah, it was pretty cool. They like flipped a coin and you didn't know what you got and you just had to go in prepared for both sides. But that was basically what it is. If health professionals should be punished for like a small mistake.
Before HOSA made them choose a side and then argue that side, and now they've opened it up. Now you have to argue both sides.
Oh,
So we have to have a
really?
speech for both.
Wow, congratulations. Especially arguing in the affirmative. on that.
Yes, that was what our
Yeah.
hardest part was, but it was also like, I feel like it was one of our stronger ones because we know we had to focus on that one a lot more because we were like, it's a really hard one to argue.
And Brady, congratulations to you.
I appreciate it.
That's, your skills for both of you, it's gonna serve you well in college. You are ahead for sure.
We most recently added a junior high chapter as well. And so we're working with North Rock Creek and Grove. We're gonna add another school this year, and so we're taking junior high students. They're able to mentor. We started a mentor program. Our nursing students mentor them, and then they're gonna mentor junior high students, so it'll come full circle.
Any other questions? I have one. What about high school credits? Talk about, are they able to get any math or science credits currently through that?
They get anatomy and physiology. They do get science credits. They get elective credits, and then we're able to offer math credits as well.
Awesome. Good. All right. Great. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your turn.
It is
Yeah.
my turn.
Yeah.
What a crowd. Well, my name is Michelle Higgerson. I represent Gordon Cooper Technology Center's Business Professionals of America. My instructors are Ms. Jessica Utter, the Business Education Technology instructor, and Mr. Russell Tarpey, the Network System Technology instructor. I am the 23-24 BPA chapter president. We currently have 56 BPA members, adults and high school students. We will attend the BPA Fall Leadership Conference on October 16th, and we also look forward to attending the BPA State Leadership Conference and competitions this spring. Last year, we attended Be Might Day at the Capitol with other BPA members across the state, and were given the opportunity to climb the 250 winding staircase to the top, where we stood right below the Guardian, a statue of an American Indian warrior at the top. We also served our community through Special Olympics Chain of Love Drive, collected and distributed blankets to our nursing homes and the homeless, and volunteered our time at the Potawatomi Community Market. As team players here at Gordon Cooper, we participated in the anti-bullying campaign, trick-or-treating, and the annual Easter egg hunt for our early care children, and participated in the Shawnee Christmas Parade with a float built by numerous students while passing out gifts and candy to all the children along the route. This year, our focus is going to be on our veterans. So many of them have no family and no friends, and we, as a BPA team, feel we can make a huge difference in their morale. We plan to visit them at the VA hospitals, provide holiday gifts, and send cards.
Awesome. So why'd you enroll in this program?
Because I come from California, and when I moved here from California, I had been in the medical field for 27 years. I was an administrator, and I could not get the pay that I received in California here because I got all my experience on the job and I had no certifications. So I came here to get certifications so that I could get the pay.
Awesome.
For the job that I do.
That's a great reason.
Yes.
What other questions would you guys have? No? Man, they're taking it easy on you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Y'all have a
you.
wonderful day.
How are you guys?
Morning!
Good.
Okay, y'all ready for this? Okay. Good morning, I'm Kaylee.
And I'm Zoe, and we attend the Cosmetology program here at Gordon Cooper.
Last year, Gordon Cooper was one in 24 Skills USA chapters to be chosen for the Models of Excellence competition, which is a very prestigious competition with only 8 in our division. In June, we got to go to Nationals in Atlanta, Georgia to compete. And in Models of Excellence, we always strive to help and give back to our community like we did in our project, the Marching Angels. With our Marching Angels project, we had 10 tech programs come together to help raise money by doing their specific skills learned in their trade, which was like hair cutting, we did baked goods, car detailing, engine rebuilding, HVAC services. And with our collective efforts, we raised like $4,000, which was enough to build the float, buy candy and gifts for the kids, and donate $1,000 to our community service account. And with our, what is it called? Our diverse trades came together and we helped our community. That's it. Thank y'all so much for having us.
You guys have any questions for them?
Yeah, where do I sign up to be a model for you guys? Should I say in test subject?
Yeah, test subject, there you go.
Because I need help.
No, you guys did great.
Thank you so much.
Do you take like public?
Right, you're exactly
I mean,
right.
I can see your nails from here, so
Y'all
I'm
can come.
Yeah.
Wednesdays and Thursdays, we have live work.
Yeah. They
And
do.
also, our students get services for free if you're a student here.
That's great.
All right, you know what days to come now.
So what does the future look like for you guys? What do you want to do with your training?
I think I want to do hair. I think that's what I want to continue with.
Awesome,
I'm wanting to open my own salon to continue to do hair.
great. What schools are you from?
I'm from Barnum.
North Rock Creek.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is David, and I am 1/3 of the team that built this national championship chapter display. It's mostly made out of wood. It's completely interactive. You just touch it, characters come up. But anyway, the display is one where we can take it out and do recruiting with it. It's all self-contained, runs off battery. The top turns because of the battery and that. And for me, it was personal because I've already had a career out in the workforce. And I decided to come back so I can further my skills and that. I'm a auto collision technology student. And then Carl, who was the carpentry person, he was out in the workforce and the plant closed, so he come back to learn new skills in carpentry. And Chelsea, who was our graphic design person, we've done the graphics on it, put it on there, done the programs and that for the iPads. And in closing, I'd just like to thank all of you for the opportunity to do this.
That's great.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah, what questions you guys have?
That's cool. That's cool.
Was your display in a competition somewhere? Or?
State competition and then national competition down in Atlanta.
Congratulations. That's very impressive.
How long have you been in the program now?
Me?
Yes.
This will be my 4th year.
Is it mobile?
Yes.
Does it roll?
Yeah.
I'm just short.
It takes us about 10 minutes to take it all apart.
Okay.
And we can move it, we can put it in the back of the Suburban, take it wherever we want. It'll roll wherever you want it to.
Are there more out there in the world?
Probably not like this.
Okay.
That's the first one, yeah.
But maybe more?
So that's pretty cool. It was a cooperation of carpentry, auto body, and graphic design?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I had the opportunity at state to be one of the judges that judged the chapter display, so I was involved in judging it. And their presentation, you got a very shortened version of the presentation, was outstanding. The digital work that they designed, they actually designed what you see on the tablets, and that students can go up as they at their school and can pick an area and research that area on the tablet. and it goes into great depth, and the students actually did that work as well as designing that piece, because when we saw it, the judges and I all thought, well, they bought a piece and brought it, and that's not the point of this contest. Well, no, he actually painted it. And so, you know, you see, it just, the students actually built it, and like I say, unbelievably, the quality and the digital work in it, for high school students to recruit them, it's spot on what we need.
So that's the hope, is to like set it up in high school lobbies, entrance areas, so that it's unmanned, but providing all the info.
Pretty neat.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Was it a prompt? Were they prompted with a specific topic for the creation, or did
It
you
was
come up
Our
with the?
Time Is Now is the theme for this.
Say that again?
Our time is now was the theme.
Okay. So very open-ended.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Lots of room for interpretation.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, the base, or you probably can't see
Yeah.
it, but the base has a mural, I don't know what to call it, but it says "Our Time Is Now."
Okay.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. You'll have to take a look. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Let me set this thing off. It doesn't.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Director Hankett, that is the end of our presentation.
Awesome. Do you guys have any questions for Julie while she's here, or any of her team?
Rayan is one of our directors of instruction. Kelly Wilson's in here, director of instruction. You met Ashley, and then I have someone manning the building. Jeremy Fry is also director of instruction. We did his meeting, so.
Can I put you on the spot a little bit?
Yes, go ahead.
All right, she might throw stones at me later. But if, one of the things that we're going to talk about today is appropriations request. If, you know, if that goes through and we have more money into the formula, what do you hope to do with that?
So, more than anything, we have 3 campuses, the aviation campus, which is here in Shawnee by the airport, and we have a campus in Seminole, which has 4 programs. But you had asked a very good question. We have 31 partner schools, so 31 communities as well for business and industry services and training that we also provide for. But on the full-time program side, we had 1,000 applications this year, and we had spots for 429 students. We generally graduate, last May we graduated 353 students. Most of those went out into the workforce, but several of them, like you heard from the robotics students and the early care students, seeking extra education in college and career pathways. So more than anything, we need to meet more of the needs of people wanting to apply and be a part of programs. When Ms. Shaker mentioned 7 students being in the adult students being in the early care for education program, we've just seen a rise in interest in the adult community, as well as what you heard David speak about himself and the partners. Factories close and people will come here and get retooling, retraining, and try and go back into the workforce to get better salaries and better pay, because they come with licenses, certifications, and skills for those jobs, as well as all of the community service projects you heard them mention. So we heavily promote through our programs that they're working in their communities, being part of a community, contributing to communities, so they don't only leave here with skills and training, they're more of a well-rounded member of their community and a member of all of the places that they'll choose to live in the great state of Oklahoma or in the nation. So to answer your question, we have a demand for other programs. We've started a pre-lineman program, which is a short-term course that's about 16 weeks. It would be nice to have a full-time program for that, but that's quite costly. And so some of the things that we're doing, we're trying to do on the short-term side, so in hopes of the legislation to pass at the United States government level, so that short-term Pell could be available for more short-term classes. We find that a lot of our business and industry folks are asking, they don't want to wait 18 months or 2 years for some of the things that they have in mind for training and preparedness for employment. So we want to meet those demands and needs of the business and industry district, but at the same time, I could very easily add a second welding teacher, a second cosmetology teacher, a second collision teacher, and so last year, we have 3 health careers programs feeding into one advanced health careers program, just like you met with Rachel's was second advanced health careers. So all of those things require salary for employees, space for employees, lab space if it's in the health fields. So those are the things that we definitely would be working towards. And since we are one of 7 schools that have an aviation program in the CareerTech system, we definitely would benefit. We have a single high school instructor and 3 adult instructors. So the high school program helps feed into the adult programs. The need for more on the high school side in that realm with aerospace as well as A&P training is also very necessary. I think Travis could probably second everything I said. Yeah.
Go ahead, Travis. You feel about the same way at your school?
Yeah, I would say, you hear the word waiting list, a lot of that is, we have our advisory boards that we meet with, and we make sure the programs that we offer that there's jobs. Our taxpayers pay for a big part of our, that's our revenue, and so we want to make sure the students that we are training, there's jobs for them. And we could take, you could take 90 cosmetologists, that's about how many applications we get. We narrow that down to about 25 because you don't want to saturate an area. Because the thing that we value the most is your time. And when you come here and get a time, we want to know that there's a positive impact that you can make. And so as we add those programs, we want to do more. Our limitations that we have is just on whether that A and B facility, whether that be cost for instructors, but just making that economic impact in business and industry and just economic opportunities for all our students. And just like on the line worker part, we both have Canadian Valley, PEC, OG&E, through this ARPA grant, through the broadband, we were able to partner with that and make a line worker academy and tie in that broadband portion into it so we can get some of the equipment that we need to get started. Because we had an industry come up to us and say, hey, we're having a hard time having employees. The retention rate, we can get them, but we're losing them after 2 years because they're going back home. We want to take care of our own communities. And so you take care of 31 senior schools, I take care of 9 senior schools, and we make sure that their students can stay home and make a good living and raise a family and have that economic growth and development in their own communities. And that's what we're supposed to take care of the taxpayer dollars.
And as a neighbor, as neighbors as we are, just the connectedness, so Asher's the furthest school closest to where his technology center is, so it's just really important that you know that we work together as 29 CareerTechs. If I don't have the talent to do a training or to teach something, then I talk to the other technology center superintendents and to their business and career services people. So, and it's fantastic. If there's a program that he offers that I don't offer, then we do reciprocity agreements with each other so that what we try and do is fill all the seats. We do that with our colleges as well as our tech centers. We have a nursing pathway with LPN, so we talk to Seminole State College, we talk to OBU, and we just make sure that if we are too full to provide an option, we try and find another option elsewhere.
That's great.
How many students do you serve in your respective centers?
So about 100 at Seminole, probably that same number at the aviation campus on a regular basis, but 1,000 daily with all 3 campuses combined.
We're about 360.
Yep.
That's just our full-time programs.
Mm-hmm.
We have 14 programs, and our adult programs, our short-term, we're around 4,000 annually.
Okay.
In short-term classes, it was about 15,000 in our last impact.
And how many programs here?
23.
Okay.
So Julie serves 31 schools?
31.
Well, yeah. And you served 9, Travis? Is that right?
39, trying to get more
That's right. That's great. Thank you guys for being here. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, great recognitions and presentations there. Hopefully that helps provide a little insight to what we do. We'll move on into item 3, management information. So item 3.01 is Gina Hubbard. Gina is our Director of Statewide Outreach, and she'll be going over where we are in our strategic plan currently and how we're making progress on the goals that we had set forward. So you'll notice, I won't steal any of her thunder as we go through that there may be some time for some revision and thinking some new goals as we get into that, but definitely ask some questions if you have them, and it's important that we stay on focus with the goals that we're after. So Gina, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, thank you very much. Well, good morning. It's an honor to be here and visit with you guys today. It's always a great day when we can be in a school
So it was great to be here and see Gordon Cooper's campus again. As Director Haken said, my name is Gina Hubbard. I'm the Director of Statewide Outreach. I've been in the system 25 years, at the state agency for 19. I taught for 4 years at Meridian Technology Center and 2 years at Autry Technology Center before coming to the state agency. So I've been there a while, and I can tell you it's a very exciting time for our system, and I'm just really honored to be a part of it. In my new role, I work with our CareerTech Foundation. I'm the liaison to that organization, as well as our professional organization, the Oklahoma Association of Career and Technology Education. I will be working very closely with our stakeholders on the rules process, so you'll hear from me more about those as we go through that. I also take stakeholder complaints, so if anyone has an issue, then I get that phone call and try to work through that process. I'm probably forgetting something, but other duties as assigned, such as presenting the strategic plan information. So I'm excited about that. I'll let you know that we work very closely as a system to meet these goals, and our role is to provide the resources and the support and the guidance to our delivery arms to make sure that we are meeting our potential. So the very first area I want to visit with you about is educational attainment. And as you can see, we've had a goal to increase our total enrollment, and we are 92% complete with that goal at this moment. So you can see that data. As you know, Director Haken has set a goal to increase K-12 full-time enrollments by 12,000 and Tech Center enrollments by 10,000 over the next 5 years. So you will see revisions, as he said, to the strategic plan as we work through this next cycle. We've met the goal of increasing our industry credentials. We're already at 22,520, so that's exciting. You heard about some of those this morning from students. We know the importance of those, and so we will continue to strive to increase that number. We've also increased our student organization membership. As you can see, we're at 98,225. I'm a product of the agriculture program from Yale, Oklahoma. Was in that program for 4 years, and then I was a state advisor for BPA and the local advisor as well. So this is near and dear to my heart. I'm so excited for students to get the opportunity to be part of those co-curricular organizations and also get involved in the competitions and the leadership and the networking that is so critical for their success. So that makes me happy. Business and education partnerships. We're looking to increase participation in a program called Oklahoma Education and Industry Partnership. I've presented on that before, but it's basically a very intentional professional development that brings educators together with industry. We're about 75% there. We do have a grant this year with the Oklahoma Aeronautics Commission for $10,000 to be able to provide resources and training to educators so they can make students aware of all the opportunities in the aerospace industry. So that's a great program. Again, something we'll be looking at moving forward to see what it looks like. But we're really proud of the work that's been done in that. Increase unique businesses served. We've already met that goal as well. We're at 7,183 unique businesses, and what that means is they're unduplicated. Okay, so those are individual different businesses that we have touched through our workforce and economic development programs. And then we want to increase work-based learning experiences in 15%. So that the work-based learning is happening in pockets across our system, but we need to work really diligently on getting a framework on how we can collect that information and support more of that. We know how important it is, as you heard from students and we hear it from industry, how important it is to have those connections and get those experiences. So that is a big area for us.
Can I stop you
Yes,
just for a second?
please.
So work-based learning has a little bit of a shift. For those of you that have been around the system for a long time, we used to think of all of the live work that we did within our programs as work-based learning because it's simulated workplace. So really what we're trying to target now as we shift, and it says establishing reporting parameters is, okay, that's great and it's really important, but what is the actual work where they go out to an employer, and how does that look, whether it be a shadowing or an actual apprenticeship? So there's different things that we need to look at. So targeting more, how's that data collected? So that's why this is a little different version than what you've seen already met or working toward. That's kind of, we've shifted things a little since the last 7-8 months. Okay, sorry.
No, you're fine. Okay, and the next one is career awareness and planning. Many of you are familiar with our OK Career Guide platform. Again, we've already reached 440,273 users across the state. So we're excited about that, and we'll be looking at new ways to enhance that platform, and work-based learning might be a part of that. We might be able to use our Connect to Business module to help with what Director Haken just mentioned, trying to wrap our arms around what's happening and make sure that we're capturing all of that.
I'll stop you again. Sorry, I keep interrupting you. Along that, and she briefly mentioned it, we're currently looking to partner with State Department of Ed. They're wanting to track all of the students, as you know, through work-based learning based on ICAP. They don't have a tool to do so, so we may be in an interagency agreement soon that we could help track that through our experience. So that's one of the things that you'll be hearing about more as soon as I get done with proposals and get Lisa to help me figure out how to make it happen. Sorry.
You're fine. Again, we've met our percentage that we set the goal on, and so we'll be looking at that. I do want to let you know that there's about 5 modules in that OK Career Guide platform. I don't know how many of you, I know some of the board members have heard presentations, but there's a piece called Navigator for 6th through 12th grade students. There's also an ICAP tracking mechanism built into that, so it helps those students make sure they're meeting the ICAP requirements. Galaxy is for elementary K through 5 students. Then we have Connect to Business, which I mentioned, where we have companies that can put information in that module and let students know what opportunities they have for employment or apprenticeships, and then we can try to connect the students with those organizations. And then we have Journey, which is for post-secondary students. And so I like to say, I don't know if the Career Counseling Division likes it, but I like to say it's K to grade, because you can start it as an elementary student and you can keep your login indefinitely. So it will help guide you through your entire career if you choose to use it.
I have a question. Is there an AIMS type, I don't even know if testing is the right word, but
So
career?
interest type inventory, is that what,
Yes.
yeah, so that's one of the first tests that they do.
Yeah,
They
it's
find
built
them,
in.
but yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's built into there. And I was just talking with John Milroy, who oversees our program, about expanding it to multiples in different formats so that we would get a better picture of, what their interests really are as they age, as the students age. So, yeah, but it's there, and we're actually partnering with OESC to use it for adults that are coming in as well.
That was going to be my next
Yeah,
question.
so that's part of the WIOA Core partnership, is that we've been letting them use our assessment tool to figure out what the adults' interests are, so, and skills.
Next is agency operations and field support. This is huge as we try to increase retention and recruitment at our state agency. As I said, I've been there 19 years. This really is impactful, and it's meaningful to have this investment in our agency staff. So you can see it was $1.1 million in pay raises and new positions to help support the goals and the direction that we need to go. And it has made a big difference, and we're excited and we appreciate this investment in our staff. We've been through economic downturns. When I started at the agency, there were 400 people working there, and so we're less than half. I know you've heard that data before, so this is really meaningful and appreciated, and it's been really great. So we appreciate your support in that, and we appreciate the directors and leadership team's ability to make that happen. So it's huge.
I would like to ask that we have a 4.1A that we keep up with that, because we were behind the curve for a little bit in several years. So in order to retain a great CareerTech program in the nation, you have to have great leaders and great staff. And so let's have a 4.1A, so we keep that in the back of our minds and be competitive, be mindful of the staffing
Yeah.
that we have, because we're very appreciative of all of you, so.
We've got a good team, and I would mention, I just had OMES finally complete, finally I say because it took a couple months to get it back, but a study of where our agency pay is compared to other agencies, so I should be able to get that data to you guys pretty soon to figure out kind of where we stand, and we're not done yet, I would say, of staying competitive. We're much closer now, but yeah.
You know, I mean, it's not all about money.
No.
You know, I mean, it's about passion and care, but
Yeah.
money helps.
Yeah, with the teacher pay raise, it was
Competitive wages.
pretty obvious they could go back to the classroom and make more money, so, yeah. Yep.
Sorry to interrupt.
You're good.
Not at all.
That's what it's for.
Appreciate that, yes. Next is an 80% average customer satisfaction rating through stakeholder surveys, and that is something that is in progress, getting those questions ready to go and making sure we're getting feedback. That's a big part of strategic planning, and so as we look at this over the next year, that data will be very helpful. So, and then we also have managed to maintain administrative costs less than 3% of the budget, so it was 1.6% in FY23. And we can probably all thank Lisa. But yes, that is a goal, and we're good there. And that is all of the slides. Are there any other questions that we can take at this time?
With regard to our strategic plan, you guys will know that was approved last year, I think right before I came on, and then so every 2 years has kind of been the practice of revising it. It's a 5-year plan, really, I believe. And Lisa or Justin and you guys, Corey, can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's kind of the way that we've looked at it here. We will need to make some revisions maybe a little quicker because we're ahead of schedule on goals, which is a great thing. So we may start adding some things in there just to keep you guys aware. Any questions for Gina?
Thank you.
Thank you. Great job.
Good, thank you.
Okay. All right, thanks so much, Gina. And then the next item on our agenda is 3.02, which will be Russell Ray, our Chief Communication and Marketing Officer, and he's going to talk about our business plan and our annual plan. I made a mistake in not getting annual plan listed as well, but it's not an action item, so it's just something we're going to review, and he would have that now. Russell?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Good morning, everybody. It's great to see everyone again. I'm going to share some of the highlights of the 2024 business plan and the 2023 annual report. Spoiler alert on the annual report, enrollment numbers are up pretty much across the board. So that's outstanding news. Very, very happy to see that, and I'll go into detail about that. You have heard a bunch of success stories today, and that's what me and my team in the Communications and Marketing Division do all the time. I've been frantically taking notes of the names of the people up here. We will be reaching out to them to publish their stories and get that message out. And that's a big part of what we do is success stories. We we work very hard to find these stories, report on them, and then feature them in all sorts of platforms through videos, podcasts, press releases, feature stories and newsletters. We have several newsletters that we feature these stories in. The main newsletter is the Director's Memo that goes out every week. We have about 8,000 subscribers. If you don't subscribe to that, you can do that. On our homepage, there's a button at the bottom of the homepage where you can click and you can enroll for that newsletter. The main feature of the business plan is the appropriations request. I won't be going over that. Brent will go over that in detail. But the business plan, as I said, is a great platform to feature many of our success stories. Let me direct you to page 3. On page 3 is one of our business spotlights. It's not on our website just yet. We saved this just for the business plan. In this business spotlight, we feature the story of Chisholm Trail Milling Company and how the business incubator at Autry Technology Center contributed to its success. Chisholm Trail, this is a really neat story, uses Oklahoma-produced wheat to produce high-quality flour, which is shipped across the U.S. and also to some places throughout Europe. So that's a great story. We do these business spotlights on a regular basis, and they're all featured on our website. On pages 6 and 7, we're highlighting some of our CareerTech champions. One of the best things that we do is the CareerTech Champions series. We have a brilliant writer on staff. Her name is Connie Romans. She's been working years writing these stories, and it's one of the best things that we do. Sometimes we'll take these stories and translate them into videos, into podcasts, and so it's a very popular series that we've been doing, and we pull some of these stories out and feature them in many of our marketing materials, including the business plan. On page 6, we have a story about Kenji Brown. Mr. Brown is a former inmate at Northeast Oklahoma Community Corrections Center who says he's making more money than he ever has as a certified logistics technician. He received several certifications through our Skills Centers program. Mr. Brown was recently promoted, and he is now working towards owning his own trucking company. So great story there. We also feature on page 6 Brighton Snow. He's a product of Mid-America Technology Center and BPA, one of our 7 CTSOs. When Brighton was in high school, he enrolled in Tech Center courses on graphic design, social media marketing, and film production, and today Mr. Snow owns his own multimedia production company, and he does this as he is attending OSU in his first semester there at OSU. After he graduates, Brighton wants to start his own marketing company whose sole mission is to help farmers use new marketing platforms. So I think we have a couple of farmers in the room who might want to take advantage of Mr. Snow's services at some point. Also features Sandra Jenkins. She attended Indian Capital Technology Center. Sandra enrolled in the Tech Center's culinary arts program, and she is now using those skills to pay her way through college. And on page 7, we have a really neat story about Ashley Powers and Tyler Watson. They met as members of HOSA, our healthcare student organization, and they both wanted to become doctors. Ashley began her career path at Red River Technology Center, and Tyler began his at Francis Tuttle Technology Center. 10 years after they met, they are married to each other, and both are completing their medical residencies in Missouri, and both give great credit to their career journey to Oklahoma CareerTech. So another
It's better than an
outstanding
online dating site.
There you go. And on page 8, we have our director's column. This is a monthly column that Brent and I collaborate on. It's a great tool to get our message out when there are issues that we need to address in a timely manner. We publish this column on our website. It is published in the Journal Record, and it just recently started being published in the Lawton Constitution. So that's a great marketing tool for us as well. Let me turn to the annual report. As I said, numbers appear to be up across the board in enrollment. On page 3 of the annual report, as you can see, system-wide enrollments are up to 489,635. That's up 10% from the previous fiscal year. Secondary Tech Center enrollments are at 21,765. That's up 7.9% from the previous year. Total secondary enrollments are at 161,270. That's up nearly 2% from the previous year. Adult education and family literacy students served, that's up to 10,081. That's up 13% from 8,925. On page 4, businesses served, that's up 8% to 8,764 from the previous fiscal year. Businesses, these are businesses served through our business and industry training programs, which increase the profitability of those businesses through some form of CareerTech service or training. These business and industry programs are customized to fit the needs of these Oklahoma businesses. Skills centers, we had 991 program completers this last fiscal year, that's graduates. And outstanding news in CTSO membership. CTSO membership is up to 98,000, and this is on page 7 of the annual report. We're up to 98,225. That's a record high. That's up 3% from 95,390 in fiscal 22. And our 7 CTSOs, of course, is FFA, VPA, TSA, FCCLA, HOSA, Skills USA, and DECA. And on the right side of page 9, you can see there the right-hand column of all 9th through 12th graders in Oklahoma, and that's 203,932 students. Of that, a little more than 42% participated in a CareerTech program in FY23. And that percentage is slightly higher than FY22. All 5th through 12th graders in Oklahoma, 32% participated in a CareerTech program. That's in FY23, and again, that's slightly higher than FY22. And on page 8, we have total tech center enrollments. Total tech center enrollments exceed 339,000. That's up 13.5% from 298,675. So that's a very positive development. If I had to write a nut graph to describe what's in the annual report, I would say that we have more than 489,000 enrollments through a network of 397 school districts, 29 technology center districts with 60 campuses, and 16 skill center sites, and 32 adult education and family literacy providers. So a lot of great news in the annual report this year. As I said, we're pushing these numbers out through a variety of platforms. These are drafts. It's not final. We can make changes to this document. We're still in the process of verifying and validating some of these numbers, but soon we will be pushing out these numbers on our website and issuing a press release about the growth that we've experienced. And I think these numbers reflect the growing, overwhelming interest in career and technical education. I think more parents and more students are now realizing they have more options, and I think this growth reflects that interest. That's all I have. If you have any softball questions, I'd be happy to take them.
I like how you phrased that. That's good. What questions might you guys have of Russell? Russell, thank you so much. Very good. Corey, you have anything you would like to add? A lot of these are your program areas as student success director. So.
Well, first, thank you for the opportunity to speak. It's a pleasure to always present to the board. And Russell, outstanding job showcasing the hard work that our instructors, our tech centers, and our students, as well as the communities who support CareerTech, are putting into making what we do fabulous and great. We all know we're all about workforce in Oklahoma, workforce and economic development in Oklahoma. You've heard me speak before, zip code shouldn't matter. It's my goal to make sure that our students get the opportunities and the jobs to work and create growth in the community that they choose to. They shouldn't have to move to get a job and be successful in Oklahoma. And so that's our passion, that's our commitment. My team is truly focused on increasing the numbers, not only on the K-12 side, but as well as the tech center side. We want to make sure we create that platform and that pathway. You all saw the evidence of the work with the diversity of the students who actually presented today. I love what you said, from K to grade. We serve everyone, and we want to make sure that that continues, and we will continue to grow with the support of our board, so I thank you.
And as I said, we are pushing out the message that CareerTech is the heart and soul of workforce development in the state. CareerTech is Oklahoma's workforce solution. We just launched a new editorial marketing product called the CareerTech News. It's basically a bi-weekly newscast. You can find that at the bottom of our homepage, and it's a great way for the director to get out his message and to spread. There is a ton of news generated throughout the state about our tech centers and all the events. And this is a perfect way to highlight all of that, and a great tool to push our message out. So look for that, and also look at our CareerTech Conversations segment. It's a 15-minute segment. It's an interview with division heads, the directors, superintendents, students. It's a great way, another great way to highlight all of these success stories that we have to brag about.
Yes, good. And one other thing I'd mention, and I think we may have a question or two, the journal record. I didn't know a whole lot about it coming in, but those columns are widely read in the political world. Those columns help get us at the table with the Workforce Commission coming to fruition through Senate Bill 621. You know, we weren't initially really included in that, and now we're really being talked about more at that table. But it was an op-ed that got some attention that helped make that happen. So sometimes just getting your message out there helps, even if it starts out in opposition.
The Journal Record is widely read by legislators, and it's considered by many as the paper record for legislation. So,
very good.
Great job.
What questions might we have?
On the student organizations, are we also marketing to, given the popping up of more homeschool and more charter schools? And, are they also getting the same
So our
exposure?
technology center schools will have a diverse sampling of some of those, but some that are in Epic, some that are homeschooled. They'll have a little bit of everything. They have that opportunity to be a part. Julie, do you know if you have anybody, or Travis, that's currently?
Yeah, so we have 3 or 4 virtual schools, Epic being one of them, and I can't remember the exact names of the other 3. And then we have a charter school in our service area, and that's the Seminole Academy. And they're one of our partners as well.
Yeah.
Which we partner with all of them. We actually, when we do our tours for our sending schools, we actually have some days set aside for homeschool or virtual school students as well. And sometimes they do a phenomenal job. So we like those students for sure.
Do you notice if that's increasing? Just for my own curiosity, like the amount of students that are coming from those avenues?
I believe that shift of what is a homeschool student or what is a virtual student, as you that's kind of a response from the pandemic side. A lot of students chose to do something a little bit different in families. They like that.
Yeah.
And so they decided to stick with that. And so I think there's more options. And so I think as we have more options, you're gonna have more participation. And we just serve whatever students live within our 9 communities, your 31 communities. I don't care where you go. You participate, you're a taxpayer, and we make sure you're taken care of.
And then formal homeschool programs, with the parents have it very structured, they're thinking about careers for their children. And so there's lots of them that keep this on their radar as their students become eligible for certain programs. Yeah.
Good. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that when we're talking about these student organizations, that our reach is going as far as it can, given like we were talking about, the possibility of increase in other than a traditional public school or private school. So it's just kind of
So that's the
an
beauty.
expanding arena of education.
The beauty of what we have built in this state for the Technology Center services. It's based on local community control, and so it's pretty unique compared to the rest of the country. So, yep.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Any other questions, Russ? Thank you, Russ.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good.
Awesome. Great. Okay, we've had a lot of great presentations. I appreciate everyone doing that. We'll move into management and action items with item 4.01 is discussion and vote on the fiscal year 25 CareerTech appropriations request. So you will see that in your business plan when you open to the middle, and it is a bifold there, and we would have we're going to talk through that. I'm going to present my thoughts on it. If you all have thoughts as well, please share those. Today's when we would vote to approve something moving forward. We all know that it's, in the end, it's the legislator's decision of what happens, but we can have a presentation of what we think is necessary to move this system forward and how we think we can grow. So I talked last time briefly about how we arrange the request is much different than what we've done traditionally, where we had segmented portions for K-12 or for technology centers, and we were really broken down into lumps within those different parts of the system. We've changed that some in the approach. We still have some broken out pieces here on the side that you'll see, but when you look through it, the first thing that we point out is that there's a statutory requirement for the legislature to fund flex benefit allowance for our technology center instructors and support staff. So that's our first request. And then I might add that Lisa's the expert on the money. If we have questions, Lisa likes being put on the spot, right? So we do a best guess scenario on what that's going to cost for the next year. I shouldn't say many, some agencies will carry over the funds for that to try to be prepared for the next year. We try to get a really accurate number of what's needed so that the legislature knows in real time, this is what we expect to be the need for the next coming year. Workforce training is the other request there, and really this is a carryover from last year's request. We asked for $40 million to fund workforce investment. We got $3 million really that we associated with what workforce investment was and really focused on the K-12 side with those dollars. So we need to make sure that we are understanding there's a need, like Julie and Travis presented about the need that they have in their local schools. If we're going to reach further, if we're going to reach more people, it's going to take an investment. One thing that I've noticed, the further I get, because we are different in our state and we have 3 branches of education, being CareerTech, higher ed, and K-12, most have 2, that usually those investments that other states have been making that we're comparing ourselves to in the other models would include us as well, but we've been excluded because we're separate. So we're the only ones like this in this situation, so that's harder to look comparatively to the state. Now what I will tell you, based on discussions from the other states, everybody wishes they were like we were, so that you can really focus and give intentional design to what career and technical education is, because we turn out more certificates than anyone else in the country. So it's great design, but it's different than everyone else. So that's why we are pushing for a sizable increase, because we have these huge wait lists of things that we need. So I recently presented this as well to Lieutenant Governor, who is now Secretary of Workforce, and seemed very excited about where we could get this year on and how we could move forward with meeting skills gaps and workforce gaps that we have. So the survey, and actually Travis is here, so if we need any questions of him, Travis builds our survey each year that the Technology Center superintendents fill out to talk about what program additions would you need, where would your growth areas be. So we have that really broken into 2 categories, adding to existing programs and building new programs. And so that's why you'll see these little bullets below each title is what those superintendents saw as the need in their area this year and where are we changing from there. So that's how we adjust our ask. I then calculate what the request will be based on that number of programs in a relative figure for what it would cost to add a program. For adding a program, I use the $150,000 mark per program. For impacting of a new program, it's $250,000. Just to, not that it's going to be exact that, but we have to put a number associated with it. So that's how I calculate what the request is, so that when I explain to the legislature, there's a real dollar figure with this. This is not just shooting in the dark and figuring out what our amount of money would be. It's how do we really make an impact and how do we address that. At the end of the day, it goes into a formula to be dispersed into our technology centers based on their ad valorem and how much they already have locally to support those programs. So not everybody gets the same amount. Those with lower ad valorem, per the number of programs that they serve, get more dollars. So that's kind of a distribution formula to balance the equation, like Corey talked about, is how do we serve all students in all situations. Just because of their zip code doesn't have as many ad valorem dollars, they still need great training. So Western Oklahoma, in far southeastern Oklahoma, tends to be left out in the ad valorem discussions because their communities just don't have the same business and industry in them. So part of our system being built is to be an economic driver for those communities as well. That's why we serve so many businesses along with the students. So I say all those things because I don't know how much if you have questions about these numbers, we would ask them, but I don't think I need to read it to you. I think you're very educated people and you can kind of read where it is as well. So what questions might you have? And it's very similar to what you saw last month, just adjustment in numbers based off the survey.
It does look very similar.
It is very similar to last month, so the topics we knew probably wouldn't change, except for if you were looking at last month's, you would see that energy was dropped off as one of our top last year's categories that needed, workforce category needed, or pathway that we refer to them as. Now it really just fits in with the rest of these 10 that are added at the bottom. So it's not a standout, if you will, but these 3 still stand out. The number values have changed and adjusted based off the programs needed. So some were able to add programs last year, and so they don't have the same need they did before, and they may have another area of need or concern.
Are we seeing more of an ask or an increase for programs in the comprehensive high schools or in the tech centers, or is it kind of a mixture of kind of a Duke's mixture?
Yeah,
or?
so there's a mixture, but what I would say is that we funded 175 new programs in comprehensive schools last year.
Okay.
We did not fund the technology centers to do the same thing. So we really pushed K-12 comprehensive last year, and we're going to give the lion's share of the money this year if received to the technology centers to try to balance that out. We will have some requests, I'm sure, and we kept money in reserve this year that we gave out in the form of grants this past year. So if you have questions about this, I know it's confusing, but I gave $5,000 grants to every new program coming on board last year, so 175 new programs. That money this next year will be set aside to fund new K-12 programs. So was it like 1.4, something like that? A little over $1 million, I think.
Yeah, it's over $1 million.
Yeah, that is really set aside to help new programs come on board so they don't have to wait. We had programs the last time that had been waiting 2 to 3 years to be approved. We don't want to get into that situation again. So we tried to make a strategy in place in the form of grants so that it's not, we didn't waste the money and just hold it. We used it for the good of students, but now we'll have that available this year again to fund programs as they request them.
But I mean, I guess my question a little bit about funding, but
okay,
really about the number of
I gotcha.
of requests, like Ms. McCormick said, that they could add 2 more healthcare teachers to fill their programs. So
Yeah.
So do we have
much more requests in tech centers? Yeah, sorry, I was getting in the finance mode here, looking at appropriations, but yeah, a lot heavier in our technology centers right now because, Corey, how many schools are we already in with K-12? 398 or?
We're almost to 400 school districts.
Yes, so we cover most of them already.
550 or 5?
Yeah, of 500 and something now, school districts. So there's going to be a few additions here and there as hopefully they continue to add. I mean, that's what Corey's going to help with her team facilitating growth in those areas, but it won't be such a large number like our technology centers need right now. Every technology center could add several instructors right now to meet the need.
Because you can fill them right into not right into the workforce, but somewhat right into the workforce.
Yeah.
So, okay, I mean, that was my
Yeah, sorry, I got off talking about money.
No, I mean, we were about money, but I was just curious.
Yes, so right now, the influx or the percentages shifted much more towards technology centers.
Okay.
Is there anything specific in the funding here that addresses wait lists?
That's what all this would do. Yeah, $37 million or right about $37 million. There'll be a percentage that comes off to help fund the program specialists and those types of people to facilitate it. But those are all about reaching out and adding programs. So that's what the main focus of this appropriations request is for, is to shorten that wait list.
You say adding programs,
Mm-hmm.
so that's more programs. What about
Yes.
programs that we already have?
No, that's good.
Folks waiting to get in.
So I'm not explaining that. We refer to programs as instructors, so some of them are in current, yes, so my terminology is not
So
good
it's
for you.
expanding.
Yes, expanding current programs by teachers, that's how I should explain it, yes. We think programs as a teacher, that's a teacher, you know. So yes, what you're asking is, well, they already have the programs. Technology centers mostly have everything built out.
Like the 2 she would
Yes.
like to add to her healthcare.
Yeah, so I'm considering that as a program.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
Okay.
So we think of it in terms of instructors.
That terminology might be important though, because I'm having that same confusion.
Yes.
And so if we're asking for more money
Mhm.
and we are explaining it under the context of continuing to add more diversity, which is how I'm picturing it.
Yeah.
That is not actually what we want. We
That's
want
right.
to expand.
Yeah, existing, so if you look at health careers and you look at the 2 bullets under that, impacting the growth of 28 programs. So that's existing programs there by 28 new instructors, really, is what that is, in those areas. And that's gonna take, a room as well, the equipment as well, all those things,
So
part of
you
it. That's why we think of it in a program, because you just add a teacher, you sometimes still have to have the duplicated equipment as well. Yeah.
You think that our legislators understand that?
I don't know that they do, yeah. I spent all last year trying to explain that need, so I'm hoping that it comes across better this year that we need to
So
add.
I would suggest you just maybe put the term existing
Yes, okay.
programs. Which
Good.
certainly clears it up.
I think that's a
Even
great,
for folks like me and Eddie from Southwest Oklahoma. Sorry.
Eddie, you just got lumped in that. I think that's great, and that's why we need your eyes on it, because the agency and myself, for sure, we get into the, the blinders on, we work in this world every day, so I think that's great insight.
Well, we're looking at 26% increase in funding in year over year, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I would hope that we would be aggressive about
Yeah.
that.
No.
Specifics.
That's right. Yeah.
So, and we actually, I'm assuming most of my peeps here on the board get calls from,
Oh, yeah.
legislators going, what's up with this?
Yeah.
So anyway.
No, that's great, and that's what this time is for, so.
And I would say with with how big a topic workforce is right
Mhm.
now, I mean, it is the right time to ask for, increases on it, because, we can back up, what y'all's doing in CareerTech is definitely what they're wanting to get done.
I think so. I hope so, that they see the similarities for their desire for what we do. So, yeah, hopefully we can match that up in whatever language you think would help like that, to help match up. That's what we need to know.
And we do it well.
We do it real well. Better
We
than
do it
anybody else.
really well.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's, hey, we have organizations in
Mhm.
place that do this very well already.
Yeah.
Don't reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Okay? So if we can just increase some funding here, we can expand that ability to
That's
create
right.
the workforce that
Mhm.
is waiting to be trained.
Yes.
So for
Exactly.
me, it's a great story that we need to continue to tell, so.
Good. Good. So one of the things that we've brought up before, and I've been thinking about it a lot, I think Eddie's mentioned before, you, Mike, as well, how do we help, get these across? Randy's talked about that. So you guys serve different areas of the state or live in different areas of the state. So that's one of the things I've been thinking about as we move forward, and I have legislative meetings with those representation of that part of the state. I may call on you, hey, are you available to meet with them as well, and let's go through this together. That's one thing that we haven't necessarily done as much, that may be a way, because you understand what the system is a little bit more than most legislators, so you could help in that way of explain to them what's going on. And sometimes when I'm missing the language barrier there, because I'm talking about a system that I'm very well versed in and they're not, I think that would be a great asset as well. So that's one of the things I've been thinking about doing as we have those meetings set up, if you're willing. What other thoughts on this request? Anything else you'd like for me to dive in deeper on? We talked quite a bit about all these areas last month, but if anyone needs some thoughts, I'd happy to dig into those a little more. I like the addition of existing programs.
And then back to the basics, we're on a fiscal year.
Correct.
And then we have a calendar year for health insurance and benefits. So
Yeah.
that's all included in here, because we normally get a
Yeah, you don't want to get yourself in a bind,
make November notice that, oh yeah, your health insurance is gonna increase.
Yeah, it's going up again this year.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's
It's
all
built in.
included.
It's built in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Best we can for the adjustment for that.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
the basics.
Also along those lines, we started taking out the agency line item, because what we do at the agency really facilitates these things. And what I'd like to see is those percentages, like administrative costs and those things, keep those percentages low, but we still have to support. So we can't ask for an additional 100 and something teachers and not have a person to support them, get them the right curriculum, make sure that they're on track, those types of things, professional development. So we know that there will be a small percentage needed to facilitate this growth, especially when you talk about the lack of certified teachers out there, and we're gonna have to train them. So we know there'll be an associated cost to that, but it's not a line item need for the agency.
And this is an action item.
This is an action
So I
item.
would move that we approve the FY '25 appropriations request.
Second.
There is a motion and a second. You got those down, Ashley? Is there any further discussion on the action item 4.01? Discussion? Seeing no discussion, will you call the roll?
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Dillingham?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Miss Hanning?
Yes.
Mr. Hillary?
Yes.
Miss Reynolds?
Yes.
Miss Wesson?
Yes.
All right, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll start moving forward. That'll be great. Okay, item number 4.02, proposed executive session to discuss the hiring of a director of academic affairs and vote in open session.
Make a
So,
motion, we go to executive session.
thank you. Second? Please do roll call.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Dillingham?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Miss Hanning?
Yes.
Mr. Hillary?
Yes.
Miss Reynolds?
Yes.
Miss Wesson?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we'll move into executive session. As that vote passes, I would ask that we retain attorney representation for the discussions in executive session. I'll give it just a couple seconds to make sure it's connected.
Perfect, so I'm ready.
Okay, welcome back. I would entertain a motion to return from open session, noting that there was no votes taken and no other discussion was discussed other than what was listed on the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All right, take a roll call, please, Ashley.
Okay. Ms. Wesson?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Hillary?
Yes.
Ms. Hanning?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Mr. Dillingham?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Did you write that time down where we return back, please?
did.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, with regard to the position available, I would recommend that we hire Jessica Ventris as the Director of Academic Affairs, effective date October 1st, 2023.
I'll make a motion to hire Jessica Ventus for Director of Academic Affairs.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, will you please do a roll call?
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Dillingham?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Ms. Hanning?
Yes.
Mr. Hillary?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Ms. Weston?
Yes.
Awesome. Congratulations, Jessica. Russell always gets the shock and awe photo over there. Yeah. Fantastic. All right. So before we have a vote or a motion to adjourn, I would remind you that if you're available, Julie has a tour set up for those that are available. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'd like to thank Ms. McCormick.
Thank you.
And her staff and her crew. They're very good for our system, but they're also great community partners, and so thank you for all that you do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Randy. I'd entertain.
Move to adjourn.
Randy has a motion to adjourn. And we got a quick second. Roll call, please.
Okay. Ms. Wesson?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Hillary?
Yes.
Ms. Hanning?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Mr. Dillingham?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
All right, we're adjourned. Thank you all.
Oh, don't tell him, he'll be so disappointed. I promised him I'd do that.
Did Stan give you a?
That
I didn't realize there was something in the middle of my muffin there. I'm not sure what that is. It's like a pineapple or something?
That'd be nice.
I'm a little nervous.